Good morning, Chairman Murkowski, Ranking Member Cantwell, and members of the committee. On behalf of the National Association of Manufacturers, the largest industrial trade association in the United States, I'm pleased to share our views on S-33, the LNG Permitting Certainty and Transparency Act. This is a bill that the NAM supports. 2 years ago, I had the privilege of coming before this committee to talk about the exact same issue we're here to talk about today. At the time, the Department of Energy had placed all license applications on a temporary hold while it studied the macroeconomic impact of exporting LNG, and that study actually forecasted that the U.S. would gain net economic benefits from doing so. The NAM at the time urged the committee that the free market will find equilibrium here and that exports of LNG should be governed by principles of free trade and open markets. The NAM also urged the DOE to provide LNG license applicants an up or down decision as expeditiously as possible to avoid market-distorting barriers to trade. Now, some witnesses at that hearing took the opposing view, calling into question the validity of the DOE study's findings and warning of constrained natural gas supplies, quote-unquote unfettered LNG exports, and skyrocketing natural gas prices. Now, fast forward 2 years to today, and the doomsday predictions really just have not come true. Proved natural gas reserves increased by 10% in 2013, setting another new record. We don't have anything even remotely resembling unfettered LNG exports, as only 5 of the terminals out of 37 are under construction. The overwhelming numbers of economists who have looked at this issue, including the DOE itself, have all repeatedly concluded that LNG exports and a strong domestic manufacturing sector can coexist. And as of last night, the Henry Hub spot price for natural gas stood at $2.92, which is a full 38 cents lower than the day I was here to testify on this issue 2 years ago. And throughout the nation's natural gas boom has sparked a manufacturing comeback. That's a wonderful story. Study after study has confirmed and continues to confirm that manufacturers are investing in the United States thanks to a competitive, abundant, and secure supply of energy. Manufacturers in Arkansas, California, Colorado, Iowa, Louisiana, Maryland, Minnesota, Nevada, New York, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Texas, Utah, Virginia, and many others are already taking part in the LNG supply chain to support the terminals that are under construction. Dominion's Cove Point LNG facility in Maryland will create 14,600 jobs in manufacturing, service, and other sectors across the supply chain. Cheniere's $12 billion Sabine Pass project, which is quite possibly the largest capital project in Louisiana history, will support the livelihoods of up to 18,300 Louisiana residents at peak construction and an average of nearly 6,400 Louisiana workers over 8 years. Now, to put 6,400 workers in perspective, there's actually 14 individual parishes in the state of Louisiana that have fewer than 6,400 residents employed. The project's supply chain for Sabine Pass contains 54 manufacturers in 17 different states. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, as many other manufacturers across the United States have made investments in their own businesses to position themselves to participate in LNG exports. At NAM, we applaud the DOE for taking a hard look at the inefficiencies within its own process and trying to fix them. And while 2 license decisions happened relatively quickly after the new procedures went in place, we once again do find ourselves in a situation where the approvals are starting to lag. For Cove Point, a project that received conditional approval as far back as 2013, we're now approaching the end of the 4th month of deliberations on a final license. So the NAM therefore believes that S-33, the LNG Permitting Certainty and Transparency Act, is both timely and warranted. This truly bipartisan, heavily negotiated bill ensures that the free hand of the marketplace, rather than bureaucratic inertia, will govern international trade by providing a 45-day deadline on the DOE to approve or deny pending LNG export applications. It does not impact the economic, environmental, or safety studies that the FERC and other agencies are required to conduct, nor does it remove any other relevant regulatory requirement. By eliminating unnecessary delays, the bill would protect against running afoul of our international obligations under the WTO. It would provide a clear resolution to the outstanding questions surrounding the regulatory approval of the infrastructure necessary to allow the export of a product, and that's a principle that domestic manufacturers strongly support. Developers looking to build an LNG facility must subject themselves to basically running a gauntlet of a long, complex, and multifaceted permitting process. At a minimum, they should be able to rely on some amount of certainty that once they've gone through that process and received all their permits and approvals, that the DOE will quickly decide on a final license to export. S-33 provides this certainty while ensuring that all environmental laws will be complied with to their absolute fullest extent. Manufacturers support S-33 and urge the committee to approve this legislation. Thank you.